All right, this is one of them stories I'm not proud of, but it's the truth.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're examining the most incredible times actors rejected roles in beloved films, only to later massively regret that decision.
Is it true that you turned down playing Elle Woods in Legally Blonde? And if so, do you regret it?
Eric Andre, A Real Pain.
I was like, that seems really miserable and not in my lane. I read the script. I was like, to go to Poland for 6 weeks and shoot a movie where we're just babbling about the Holocaust seems like a bummer.
One of the best films of 2024, A Real Pain starred Jesse Eisenberg as David and Kieran Culkin as Benji as cousins traveling around Poland in memory of their late grandmother. The film was so well received that it was nominated for 2 Oscars, winning Best Supporting Actor for Culkin. However, had Eisenberg, who wrote and directed it, had his way, Andre might have lifted the golden statue.
He's sensitive and he sees people so clearly, but then you say the wrong thing and something switches.
Speaking on Andrew Santino's Whiskey Ginger podcast in 2025, the comedian mentioned Eisenberg offered him the role of Benji. However, after hearing the plot and the themes of atrocities during World War II, Andre thought the experience would be too depressing. His view soon changed with Culkin's success.
It's once in a while I get offered a role, and I said no to one of the only times I've been offered a role.
But
then it turned into an Academy
Award. It wasn't
going
to get you an Oscar.
I know, it's not 1-to-1. It's not guaranteed. He got the Oscar, yes, thank you. But it still stings.
Burt Reynolds, Diamonds Are Forever. A star in the Smokey and the Bandit franchise, a multi-Golden Globe winner, and possessor of a celebrated Hollywood mustache, Reynolds could have added another iconic feather to his cap.
For the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Mostly for the money.
Once George Lazenby quit as James Bond after 1969's On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the search for a new 007 began. Reynolds was offered the lead role for 1971's Diamonds Are Forever. However, due to what Reynolds described as, quote, stupidity, he believed the part should go to an English actor, not an American. So he turned it down.
Bond. James Bond. No, I can't do it.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah, I could have done it.
The producers brought back Scotland's Sean Connery instead. Fortunately, only a year after Bond's film, Reynolds starred in 1972's Deliverance, starting him on his legendary career.
Sometimes you have to lose yourself before you can find anything.
Emily Blunt, Iron Man 2. Today, Scarlett Johansson is synonymous with Black Widow in the MCU. However, she wasn't the prime choice to don the suit when the character made her debut in 2010's Iron Man 2.
Is that possible?
Well, according to Mr. Stark's database security guidelines, there are redundancies to prevent unauthorized usage.
It was Golden Globe winner Blunt who was the #1 pick. Unfortunately, she simply wasn't able to take it on.
Do you know what really just kills me about this whole thing? It's the clothes that you're gonna get. I mean, you don't deserve them. You eat carbs, for Christ's sake.
After performing in 2006's The Devil Wears Prada, Blunt had signed a 2-picture deal with Fox. As a result, she was obligated instead to appear in 2010's Gulliver's Travels. In 2021, while a guest on The Howard Stern Show, Blunt went into more detail. She stated she didn't want to be in Gulliver's Travels, and having to let Black Widow go was, quote, heartbreaking.
There were a lot of lovely people in it who were heaven to work with, and I actually had a really good time. I had a laugh with all of them. But it irked my heart for it to have happened in the first place. But I ended up I will always try and make the best of any situation, for sure.
Michael J. Fox, Ghost. Seemingly, Patrick Swayze wasn't anywhere near the top of casting picks for the role of Sam Wheat in 1990's Ghost. Many actors were considered, yet for one reason or another, they didn't work out. One of these was Fox, best known for his work in the Back to the Future franchise.
It's going to be really hard waiting 30 years before I can talk to you about everything that's happened in the past few days.
In 2023, he appeared on The View with Ghost star Whoopi Goldberg, who asked him about it. Fox stated that after he read the script, he had his doubts about the film.
I said, I'd never work. I said, Whoopi's great, but it'll never work.
When Ghost was a critical and box office hit, Fox called himself a, quote, idiot, and regretted not working with Goldberg then. He wouldn't be the only actor to pass on this one.
Would you stop rambling?
I don't think I'm rambling. I'm just answering a question. He's got an attitude now.
I don't have an attitude.
Yes, you do have an attitude. We're having a little discussion.
Halle Berry, Speed. In 1994, Speed helped catapult Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock's careers. Yet somewhere in the multiverse, Reeves had Barry as a co-star instead.
We're not going in like the old days. It's just a conversation.
Nothing's ever just a conversation with you, John.
Early in her acting career, she was offered the role of Annie Porter, who was set to be a black paramedic in an early script draft. However, those versions also had a much different plot, which would make the title of Speed very ironic.
I stupidly said no. Stay on or get off! But in my defense, when I read the script, the bus didn't leave the parking lot.
After rejecting it, the plot was reworked into a far more exciting plot of having the bus needing to be kept above a certain speed to stop it from exploding, making Barry regret turning it down.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. You should be glad. We all are. Doesn't mean you don't care.
Madonna, The Matrix. Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity in the Matrix franchise is a cultural icon. Yet before she secured the role, many performers were considered for it, including the pop queen Madonna. While on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon in 2021, she confirmed the rumor that she had rejected the role, a decision she ultimately regretted.
Oh, stop it.
No,
You're
seriously.
Madonna. You
That's
don't,
like one
you
of the
don't
best
regret
movies ever.
anything. You don't regret anything. Look at you.
Teeny tiny part of me regrets just that one moment in my life.
The music legend also slipped in another part she regretted turning down, that of Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman in 1992's Batman Returns, a role taken by Michelle Pfeiffer. Madonna squeezed in a compliment by calling Pfeiffer's work, quote, fierce.
I am Catwoman. Hear me roar.
Denzel Washington, 7.
What's going on over there? Put the gun down. I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
It's hard to imagine anyone other than Brad Pitt screaming this iconic line at Morgan Freeman in 1995's Seven. Yet he wasn't the original plan as Detective David Mills. Over the years, Washington has spoken about the parts he regrettably turned down, one of which was this.
The part that Brad Pitt played, they asked me first, and I just thought, this is so dark. And then I saw the movie and cried.
In 2025, the film's director, David Fincher, mentioned that Washington was approached long before he was on board to direct. However, the actor didn't like the script, causing it to be rewritten over 10 times before he pulled out completely. Strangely, Washington's manager secured himself a producing credit on Seven, apparently by implying that he could get his client on board, which didn't happen.
Then I saw the movie, I was like, oh, I blew it.
No,
but it's, you know, worked out all right.
Yeah, I mean, you got everything else.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Titanic. Before she was cast in Titanic as Rose DeWitt Bukater, Kate Winslet was slowly carving out her legacy. Afterwards, she had an industry breakthrough, becoming one of the most in-demand performers. Yet, if the filmmakers had gotten Paltrow on board, it would have been a very different story.
Were you aware of who you were up against? Because there was talk of Gwyneth and Claire Danes, etc.
I wasn't really aware.
While speaking to The Howard Stern Show in 2015, Paltrow admitted she turned down Titanic. While she tried to remain zen about it, she did wonder why she said no.
I think, to be honest, it was just a very, very intense time all around, and you're going to be super scrutinized.
Fun fact, Winslet returned the favor. She was originally offered the role of Viola de Lesseps in 1998's Shakespeare in Love, but rejected it to do independent films. Paltrow got the part, leading to her winning a Best Actress Oscar.
And I love poetry above all.
Above Lord Wessex. My lord, when you cannot find your wife, you better look for her at the playhouse.
Billy Crystal, Toy Story. Imagine the beloved Toy Story franchise with the role of Buzz Lightyear being voiced by not Tim Allen, but by Crystal. Well, we nearly had that. The Toy Story creators even came up with a test clip of Buzz saying Crystal's lines in When Harry Met Sally.
Believe it or not, you'll go 15 rounds over who's going to get this coffee table. This stupid, wagon wheel, Roy Rogers garage sale coffee table.
I thought you liked it.
I was being nice!
Sadly, Crystal passed on the part before he even saw it. When he appeared on The Graham Norton Show in 2024, the actor admitted that if he'd seen the clip, he would have grabbed the role before his agent convinced him not to.
It wasn't about the character or anything like that. It was a business thing that all the agents and managers said, I don't think you should do it. It's not fair, and they want you to write, and you're not getting paid, really, and so let's pass. I went, oh, really? And I listened.
Crystal called the 1995 film, quote, genius, and described himself as a, quote, dope for missing the opportunity. However, his regret of missing a Pixar flick led to him being in 2001's Monsters, Inc.
Great job, Mikey. You filled your quota on the first kid of the day.
Not bad, huh? You know, only somebody with perfect comedic timing could produce this much energy in one shot.
Sean Connery, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Across 6 films and 4 video games, Gandalf has been fantastically portrayed by Ian McKellen. Yet the role was offered to several other actors before he secured it, including Connery. Best known for his work as Bond and Indiana Jones's father Henry, the Scottish actor famously didn't understand the material.
Only in the leap from the lion's head will he prove his worth.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We'll find out.
He received an unprecedented contract offer, giving him $30 million outright and 15% of the franchise's box office. This would have secured him around $450 million altogether. Anyone would have regrets after that knowledge.
Oh, you're missing a picture, Mr. Gray.
And you don't miss a thing, do you, Mr. Quartermain?
Oh, sometimes.
Another regretful near Gandalf was Oscar winner Christopher Plummer. Concerned for his age, he turned down spending so long filming in New Zealand in favor of seeing other places before he passed.
And then Ian played it, Ian McKellen, who was absolutely marvelous in it. And he couldn't have been warmer, which I might not have brought to it. I might have been a little cold and imperious. He was warm, and I hate the son of a
Bruce Willis, Ghost. Ghost, starring Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, was the highest-grossing film of 1990.
I hope it wasn't a masterpiece.
Well, it's not now. Swayze was grateful for the part. After Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse, he was often typecast as a tough guy or a jerk. Ghost allowed him to show off his sensitive side and take his career in new directions.
Tell her I love her. He says he loves you.
He almost didn't have the chance, though. The role was originally offered to Demi's husband, Bruce Willis. When asked in 1996 why he turned it down, Willis replied, quote, "Hey, the guy's dead. How are you gonna have a romance?" Famous last words. Maybe that lesson was still on his mind when he accepted the lead in The Sixth Sense a few years later.
They're both so similar. Same mannerisms, same expressions, same things hanging over their head.
Henry Winkler, Grease. Sometimes actors audition for roles and don't get cast.
Well, this car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be grease lightning?
Other times, they turn them down. John Travolta, for example, auditioned for Potsy on Happy Days, which of course starred Henry Winkler as Fonzie.
All right, it's fixed. And just remember what I told you, I'll warm it up before you start running it.
On The Rich Eisen Show in June of 2022, Henry Winkler confirmed a rumor that had been circulating for years. Ironically, Winkler had been offered the role of Danny Zuko in Grease. Afraid of getting stuck playing another greaser character, Winkler said no.
I thought, I'm not going to do that because then I'm just reinforcing that kind of character. Now, I went home and had a ginger ale. John Travolta went home and bought a plane.
Although he admits that his decision was a mistake, there was one small wrinkle. Grease famously is a musical. Winkler, by his own admission, cannot carry a tune.
Here comes the bull, ready or not. Here come the boys from the south.
Josh Hartnett, Batman Begins. We all tend to look back on the careers of once young stars and starlets and think about what could have been.
Do you know for what reason you've been brought here?
For starters, I'm unlucky.
Do they regret the track their careers have taken? Do they wish they didn't miss that big payday? For Josh Hartnett, the answer is a little more complicated. The number of actors who turned down superheroes could fill a phone book.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Josh Hartnett is one of the more well-known, having passed on Batman Begins. Though Hartnett may have made a great Bruce Wayne, he doesn't mind. As he tells it, his regret has nothing to do with the part or the money. He wishes he could have formed a working relationship with director Chris Nolan.
I said that in that interview that I thought I should have formed that relationship, and now knowing more about Hollywood now, I would have definitely done anything to kind of stay in that relationship.
Well, a key role in Nolan's Oppenheimer proves that for Hartnett, it's never too late. Eddie Murphy, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. In the days before ubiquitous CGI, there were only a handful of movies that combined live action and animation.
Oh, look, piggies.
Hi, Tweety.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home.
No.
One of the biggest was 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The film had the animated stars of Disney and Warner Brothers alongside live actors. Back in the mid-'80s, the idea seemed insane. At least it did to Eddie Murphy, who was originally offered the lead role of private detective Eddie Valiant.
The only movie I ever turned down that became a big hit was that Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
You were going to be in that?
The concept made no sense to Murphy whatsoever, and he turned the part down. They eventually cast Bob Hoskins, and it became the most recognizable film of his career.
You want to know? I'll tell you. A tune killed my brother.
A tune? No.
Dustin Hoffman, Taxi Driver. In film, certain actors and directors form bonds that can last for decades.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
One of the most famous partnerships in Hollywood is that of Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. They've worked together on several films spanning 50 years. It all began with Scorsese's Mean Streets in 1973. It may not have gone any further, though, without the tremendous success of Taxi Driver. Originally, De Niro was not supposed to play the now iconic Travis Bickle. The part was first offered to Dustin Hoffman.
Hi. I'd like to volunteer.
When Scorsese pitched it, Hoffman had no clue who the director was. According to Hoffman, Marty seemed like a crazy man speaking a mile a minute. It was the first of many hit roles that Hoffman regrets rejecting over his long career.
Is it safe?
You talking to me?
Christina Applegate, Legally Blonde. Fear of typecasting isn't limited to male actors. For 10 years, Christina Applegate co-starred in the hit comedy Married with Children on Fox.
Well, now that Tony's worm food, I can get out of these funeral clothes.
After the show ended, she looked to expand her horizons with other film and TV opportunities. A script came her way for a new movie called Legally Blonde. Though she appreciated the humor, she ultimately declined.
I'll show you how valuable Elle Woods can be.
Elle Woods, she thought, was way too similar to her character on Married with Children. She admitted in an interview with Andy Cohen that she thinks Reese Witherspoon ultimately crushed it.
Reese Witherspoon did a much better job than I ever could, and she has now way more money than I do and way more success. And so why would I even regret that?
Though Applegate undersells her own talents, she definitely has a point given the film's huge success. Denzel Washington, Michael Clayton. For an actor, working with a young or inexperienced director can be a real crapshoot. Some actors love the process. Others absolutely refuse.
Do I look like I'm negotiating?
The end product can often be so bad that stars are left wondering what they were thinking by saying yes. All those points were in Denzel Washington's head when he first read the script for Michael Clayton.
Most important thing in business is honesty.
According to Denzel, it was the best material he'd read in a long time. But since it was Tony Gilroy's first stint in the director's chair, Washington passed.
I'm telling them everything's fine, you're fine, everything is gonna be fine, everybody's cool.
The film went on to win multiple awards, including a BAFTA and an Oscar win for Tilda Swinton. 5 years later, Washington confessed to GQ magazine that he made a mistake. Michelle Pfeiffer, The Silence of the Lambs. At the end of the 1980s and the start of the 90s, Michelle Pfeiffer was at the height of her career. She was offered dozens of roles she decided to avoid.
You want me to do it?
The biggest, by far, was Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs. That part would ultimately net Jodie Foster an Oscar, though that's not the source of Pfeiffer's regret. The script was great, but as she put it, there was too much evil in the film.
Oh, Clarice, your problem is you need to get more fun out of life.
Lecter escaping was too dark of an ending for her. As she put it, she, quote, didn't want to put that evil out into the world. Having loved working with director Jonathan Demme before, it was a tough decision. She wishes she'd gotten a chance to reunite with him.
I can't, Johnny. Sorry.
Will Smith, The Matrix. All movies start with one thing, the pitch.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, you can taste and see.
For many actors, a decision to pass or move forward is based on the pitch rather than the script. For years, there were rumors and speculation about Will Smith turning down Neo in The Matrix.
You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
In 2019, Smith put out a YouTube video confirming them. It can be difficult years later to imagine the pitch for a modern classic like The Matrix. Smith gave us his perspective. The Wachowski sisters, fresh off their only film at the time, reportedly didn't focus their pitch on the story, but on the now famous bullet time action sequence. In 1998, their description made no sense to Smith. He chose to star in Wild Wild West instead.
Gentlemen, don't make Captain West any later than he already is for his appointment.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Matt Damon, Avatar. In the late 2000s, James Cameron approached Matt Damon about a new project he was about to start.
When I was lying there in the VA hospital with a big hole blown through the middle of my life, I started having these dreams of flying. I was free.
The film would be a sci-fi feature about blue aliens fighting human colonizers. During the pitch, according to Damon, Cameron was blunt. Quote, "I don't need anybody. I don't need a name for this, a named actor."
You know, I used to think it was benign neglect, but now I see that you're intentionally screwing me.
He told Damon that if he turns it down, he would pluck someone out of obscurity for the role. But were Damon to take it, Cameron would offer him 10% of the box office. Matt Damon turned it down as he was busy at the time working on The Bourne Ultimatum. Had he accepted, Matt Damon would have raked in around $250 million.
He knew exactly what it meant for you if you chose to stay.
If you could take any acting role in the film industry, what would you select and why? Let us know below.
Pay attention. You will see how genius creates a legend.